much. Thank you. Man, oh man, oh man. I had to get over the shock first. I'm back there. What is she doing? Oh, I have to tell you, in the program guide, it tells you what I'm going to talk about. And I'm going to give you a little bit of that because it's someplace that I just want to go deeper with you on a subject that Sandra really, unleashed really on Friday with Listen. And while my girl is going through her transformation, I'm going through a transformation. And it's a real awakening. And it's, she was brave, so brave. I mean, that whole song, how big is your brave, is, I thought she exhibited extreme courage to do that and to lay that out like that. And it's someone asked me in an interview, they asked me, who do you admire? Who do you look up to? And as corny as it was, I said, the first thing I want to tell you is I respect and admire my wife. It's the first person that came to my mind right off the bat. And and it made me realize, we give so many people credit for things. People you've never met, people you've read about in a book, and nothing's wrong with that. But I just realized through sickness, through the good times, the bad times, those times when we were struggling so much with our money, I'll never forget, Sandra was always the kind of girl that when we were going through a tough time or money was really bad, and I'd say, and we were looking at each other and she'd say, look, they got bologna on sale over at the local Kroger's. I'll go get some bologna. I saw the bread was on sale too. And we just fried bologna and, we just did what we had to do. But so this is really kind of hard for me. So let me just share a couple things that I think are important that I want you to get that are in the program guide. Then I'm going to have to go someplace else with this conversation, if you'll let me. There's three things that I've noticed working with women that is really, in 13 years of working with eWomenNetwork, and prior to that I had my own advertising agency, and I had 40 employees, and we won hundreds and hundreds of awards in advertising and marketing. And I really focused on multicultural marketing. And the women's market was big for me back then. So I get into the eWomenNetwork, and I just started observing what's going on. What do I see? What do I see on my end? So I want to share with you three things. The biggest thing is being indecisive and not making a decision to succeed. Now, this is a big thing when I say make a decision. You decide that you're going to be successful. When we started eWomenNetwork, I had other things that I could do. Sandra had other things she could do. She had consultant assignments. I had different things that I could do. And what we realized is that we were both on the fence. We're both on one leg in, one leg out. I'm going to tell you right now, you have to decide. You really do have to decide, am I going to be successful with this business? And it becomes a no holds barred situation where you've made the decision, you're going to succeed, you're going to make this work, and you put everything into it. It's deciding that you're going to be successful. You leave here and you go home, and you're going to be hit with all kinds of distractions. You're going to be hit with people, you're not going to have that support all around you. And it's real easy to get really caught up into that and to start doing all kinds of other things. Because it actually feels good when you're doing your dishes, because you're able to do your dishes, clean them up, dry them off, put them away, and say, man, I just accomplished something. I just did something that's very fulfilling. It's done. It's real easy to do the laundry. Sandra, she talked about that in the beginning with the eWomenNetwork. You would do the laundry. It was a distraction because you could start it, get it done, finish it, fold it, put it away, and feel good about yourself. I got something done. But all it's doing is taking you away from that choice that you made that I'm going to run a successful business. And once you make that decision to take both legs, jump off the fence, and land in the place of I'm doing this, everything will rearrange itself to make it work. So let me tell you, the first thing is decide that I'm going to succeed. You make that decision. Second thing that I've noticed And this is so huge, and I hope that I can convey it in a way that you really get it at the visceral level, is you ask for the help that you need. Now let me tell you, this is not asking for sales. This is not saying, well, I want to ask you to buy my product because I need sales. That's not the kind of ask I'm talking about. I want you to be a customer. I want you to be a client. No, the kind of ask I'm talking about is, let me give you a good example of this. I was going after a sponsor for eWomenNetwork. Put together this incredible sponsorship program, sent it to the sponsor. I had a good relationship with the sponsor. And when they got back with me, they told me they were going to pass. I just sat with that for a day, and the next day, this is my ask. I called back, spoke to the sponsor. Her name was Carrie. I said, Carrie, this is Kym. This is the message that I left on her voicemail. I said, Carrie, I'm calling you to ask you for some help. I know that you've passed on the sponsorship program that I presented to you. Where I need to help Carrie is in putting together the right kind of plan. And I could really use your help to share with me what I did wrong. What did I do wrong? Would you mind just taking a few minutes with me and just coach me and tell me what I could have done to make this better? I am not trying to get you to buy it now. I just need the help. She called me back. It was a money issue. She says, it's money. Are you saying to me, Carrie, that if I could give you what I have in that proposal, but reduce the money down to, at that time, I think it was like $60,000. I was going for $100,000. You know, if I could bring it down to $60,000, but she says, we do it. Ask. When I had my advertising agency, I'll never forget, in Dayton, Ohio, there was this car dealership called Peffley Ford, P-E-F-F-L-E-Y. I can spell this thing because we did a jingle around it and kind of a hooky rap thing called P-E-F-F-L-E-Y. Peffley Ford is the place to buy, you know, that kind of thing. You know, I got everybody in the dealership involved in it. But I'll never forget when I called him, this guy, at that time I was in my early 30s, and this guy looked like he was 75, a crusty, you know, it's the standard guy who stands out there very stiff in front of the cars. We got the best price, selection, value, just stand in front of the car and do that. I called him up, Mr. Peffley, I've got a great idea for you. I lived in Dayton. Would you let me present this? And the guy says, you know what? He says, you know how many times I get a call from someone telling me they got a better idea, better strategy to make my business go better? I'll give you 5 minutes, that's it. And he gave me a date 3 weeks out. At that time, I had a afro kind of similar to what you. And I was telling Sandra, I just felt, you know what? I felt very, very insecure because I didn't think they would relate to me. I get to the dealership and all the guys have on polyester suits. You know, you get the scene, you know. And I'm looking at them and they're looking at me. I made my presentation and in 15 minutes, DeWitt Peffley, the owner of the dealership, says, we're hiring you. And I mean, he saw the kind of the shock on my face. I said, great. He says, we love it. He says, but yeah, man, I want to be real clear about something. Do you know why I'm giving you this account? I said, well, Mr. Peffley, I'm assuming you like the campaign. Oh, I like the campaign, but the campaign is far below why I'm giving you this account. He says, I'm giving you this account because you're excited. You're excited for my business. You're pumped up about me. You're here because you took the time to put together this campaign, and you're making me feel good about who I am and what we're about. And I want that excitement in my dealership. When you ask, whether you're asking them for the help or you ask the client, why did you hire me? Why did you choose me? What is it about what I'm doing that you value the most? Ask both ways. Ask why you didn't get it and what you're doing wrong. Give people the permission to say, you don't need to buy from me. It's okay, I'm gonna let it go. Can we have a different conversation? I just wanna know what I'm doing wrong. And be open to that. And don't defend that, just let them tell you. And ask on the other side, why did you choose me? Does this all make sense? The last one is action. I'm going to tell you, more people talk about it. There's Dr. Nathaniel Branden is an incredible. Anybody heard that name, Dr. Nathaniel Branden? Let me tell you, you don't really have to get the book, because I'm going to give you the simple thing that it's pretty extraordinary. And this is how it works. What's the vision? What is it you want to do? What is that? That's number one. So what's the vision? How do you picture it in your mind? The whole thing. Just maybe you want to be an aerobics teacher. I know a lot of you want to save the world. I know one who wants to save the world. But what's the vision? Okay, great. Number two, what's your strategy to make that happen? I got the vision. What's the strategy to make that happen? Now here's the killer one. The third thing is, are you doing it? Are you doing it? I'll never forget, my sister said to me one time, she worked at Procter & Gamble, and she says, I've always dreamed, I really want to be an aerobics instructor. I really want to have my own gym and working out. That's really what I'm passionate about. See, I got to tell you, I happen to think that passion is really overrated. I think you got to follow your efforts. It's one thing to say, here's my passion, this is what I want to do, but what are your efforts doing? Follow your efforts. I was like knocked out when Mark Cuban said the same thing. I thought, oh my God, because I've not heard it from anyone else, like verbalize it, because it's not really popular to say, when you feel a little different about the passion thing. It's far more than just passion. Follow what you're doing. What are you doing? My good friend George Frazier. George, would you please stand up? Good friend George Frazier, right here. George Frazier is the author of several best-selling books. He's a networking master, and frankly, just transformed my life. I'm gonna need a little water out here, somebody, if we have some. There is some on the desk. Here we go. Sorry. I can't help it. Was that not an unbelievable scene, that Rubio guy? Remember that? But wanting to be an aerobics instructor and all that, and I listened to this and all the passion behind it. And I said, Lynn, that's great. I said, what's your strategy? Well, I don't have a strategy yet. So therefore, you're not doing it. So therefore, it's a dream. So whatever it is, the biggest distraction, and I find this, is focus. I've got, Bridget, let's show that little clip. And it is, these are all the ideas, just percolating, bubbling out of you. But the minute you decide, I want that one, or this one idea, and begin to focus, laser focus, just like a magnifying glass, that's when you burn through. You have to get rid of all the distractions. Ladies, here's the thing, because you're so talented, because you're so brilliant, because you have the ability to come up with so many different ideas and strategies, it's the same thing that will take you down. It will take you down. And you will find yourself, in a constant struggle. Because anybody who's working with you, they don't know what you're focused on anymore. They can't even help you because they don't know where you're going, because you're all over the map. Focus, laser focus. Remember that movie, The Notebook? One of my favorite scenes in The Notebook, I'm going to show to you. And I mean, and I hope it has the effect on you that I see, because when I'm talking and I'm counseling and I'm working with people, and I always come to, in the final analysis, this question. Let's throw that clip.
Stop thinking about what I want. When you want what your parents want, what do you want? What do you want?
It's not that simple.
What do you want?
I will tell you, the men in your life, that's what they want to know. If any of you are experiencing struggles in your significant other relationships, it's so vital that you're clear in what you want. Clear. The guys, we were like unbelievable, really kind of simple creatures. You guys, ladies, know that. I mean, I'm real clear who's got the power, who's got the strength, and all that. I mean, ladies, you're unbelievable. And the guys really want to please you. They really do, man. They want to be your favorite. I mean, they really would like to be guy of the year for you. But when you confuse them, if you don't tell them what you want, if you aren't transparent, if you aren't authentic, that Listen song, let me tell you what happened. So Sandra, I could see it. I could feel something changing. You can't be in a relationship like we've got. Sandra's my best friend. And if you ever see in fact, I'm going to invite you, please, Facebook, become a friend of mine, Kym Yancey on Facebook. I need you. I need you in my life. So Sandra had asked me to listen to this song called Listen. It took me 3 weeks to take the time out to listen to the song. Therein lies problem number one. I wasn't trying to diss her or disrespect her or not take what she asked me to do seriously. I just put other things before it. I just made other things the priority. That's all. I was busied up with other things, so her requests took 3 weeks for me to get to. It was midnight. I went to YouTube to hear Beyonce, the song. Sandra had said to me, that song is me talking to you. I hadn't heard the song. I didn't know what to expect. Turn on the song. Here's the first line of the song. Listen to the song here in my heart, a melody I start but can't complete. Listen to the sound from deep within. It's only beginning to find release. Oh, the time has come for my dreams to be heard. They will not be pushed aside and turned into your own, all cause you won't listen. I went to my knees on that one, right there in my office at home. I thought, okay, this is the love of my life. She's got to tell me, she's got to talk to me, she's got to say it like that to me. Next verse. Listen, I'm alone at a crossroads. I'm not at home in my own home. And I've tried and tried to say what's on my mind. You should have known. You know what? Sandra had given me clues. There are things she had asked for. And here's what happens. Men deal with all kinds of battle scars all day and out, all day. Okay? So here's what happens. If I get into a little tussle with George, I'm talking about a disagreement or whatever the case may be, we argue, we have our words, and then we're going to have a beer. And it's over. And so, following the guy code, what they think is that while you're upset today, because you feel a little better the next day, the guy code is like, hey, everything's cool. She's back to, because you expressed it, and you chilled out over it, we think it's over for you because that's how it works with us. It's over with us. And we go on to the next thing. Then you bring it up again a month or two later or a week later, whatever it might be. It blows over again. We think you're cool. I got through that. Woo, I got through that one. Woo. I mean, I'm going to tell you, George, am I right? I mean, it's the guy. It's just how we work. So we're not listening. So for all the guys in the audience, I'm going to tell you something. As a result of this, what Sandra did with me, I'm like E.F. Hutton. She says something, when Sandra speaks, I mean, I'm listening in a completely different way. Because she's the number one thing in my life. And what I'm here to tell you is, your guy or your significant other wants to be the number one thing in your life too, but you've got to bring them in. What she did for me, she found a way to communicate to me what she was feeling, and she used music, because I'm a music guy. She used that. I listened to the whole thing. I'm going to give you just a couple of my responses. This was between me and Sandra, and so I'm afraid, feel a little weak. But What the hell are we doing if we aren't sharing our truth with each other? What are we doing if we don't share our truth? Everything gets masked over. Everything is, you know what? You don't need another tactic. At the beginning of this conversation, I gave you some tactics. You know what you're going to remember? You're going to remember the truth. You're going to remember the soul. That's what you're going to remember. Because that's what I remember. So I copied the words down, and then the only thing I knew to do was to write what I was feeling in that moment. So here's my response to the first verse of the song. I'm listening, Sandra, and I will be your biggest cheerleader, baby. I want the song in your heart to release and be heard in your voice. Then I went to the next verse, Beyonce singing. Listen, I'm alone at a crossroads. I'm not at home in my own home, that verse. My next verse, baby, I thought we were singing the same. Ladies, I swear to you, your guy thinks he's singing it the same. He thinks he's hearing you. You got to bring it to him, man. You got to say, let me be transparent with you and tell you what's really heavy on my heart. You got to find your way. I don't know if it's the listen song. I don't know what. Maybe it's some other song. Maybe it's something you write out. You find your way. But I meant that, baby. I thought we were seeing it the same. We both discovered it was harder than we bargained for. The point here is that you deserve to fly in the direction you want and need to fly, and I will help you if you want me here with you. The next verse, you don't know what I'm feeling. I'm more than what you made of me. I followed the voice you gave to me, but now I gotta find my own. Until eWomenNetwork, if you want to talk about, let's say star. See, right now, very often I meet women of the network, and I'm greeted as, oh, you're the husband. Which I'm cool. But prior to that, I had my own business, and I was, quote, the star in our family. When we started eWomenNetwork, it all shifted. I love producing. I'm a producer at heart. So it became very comfortable for me to produce Sandra, to produce eWomenNetwork. And Sandra was the best pupil of all because she trusted me. But I didn't realize that through all of that her voice and her song, her music, wasn't coming out authentically for her at the level she wanted. We had fun. Our relationship has been, in my view, glorious. But I wasn't feeling what she was feeling. So you don't know what I'm feeling. I'm more than what you made of me, okay? So here's what I wrote. I would never want to stand in your way. I feel so bad that you have these feelings of me. Please forgive me for not listening. You have every reason to talk to others and confide in others when you have a partner who's not listening. I want you to soar in your own glory and move to the beat of your own design. I hope it's with me. 35 years, and I'm saying I hope it's with me. See, I don't just love my wife. I am crazy in love with my wife. I pray that it's with me. I will aggressively help you transition to your desired sand. You have my commitment. I would never want to stand in your way. I love you too much to see you emotionally hurt in any way. How could I have not heard you? It's bad. I'm listening now. My pain and sadness is realizing that I have been the cause of your own music, your own song, not playing out in your heart. I'm so sorry. I feel like I need to find a rock to get under. She came out here on Friday and shared with you that while she pointed the finger at me, there were 3 fingers pointing back at her. And when I said to her, I never knew. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to leave you with this. I don't care if it's your mother, if it's your brother, your significant other, wherever you are, speak from your heart. Let them know what's going on with you. Don't bottle up your music. Don't bottle up your voice. Pure. Be brave. Thank you for, I feel this love. I feel this support. And I don't know how you judge me, but I want to tell you, I can't think of any other environment where I could stand up and share this or anybody else I'd want to do it with. Thank you so much.